Yeah,
sure.
That's perfect. Thank you.
Is she coming now? Do you want me to move this?
I'm sorry?
Is she coming now? Do you want me to move this?
Yeah, they're coming now.
Door opening shot. Door opening shot.
I'm sorry?
I went too fast.
No, you're fine. You're beautiful.
Put your hand in. There you go.
Friends and family, you occupy an important place in this couple's lives. It's in your company that these two have learned the lessons of friendship and of the act of giving one's love to another. Today, on their wedding day, they ask your blessing as well over their marriage. James and Neesha ask you to remain steadfast, reaching out to them in times of trouble and helping them to celebrate their achievements and joys. Wherever your own destiny may carry you, we ask that you continue to include them in your lives. If so, say, "We will." We will. Again, we welcome you on this beautiful day. James and Neesha, thank you for being here. Many of you coming from great distances to celebrate their marriage with them. James has selected some readings this morning from Scripture, and I'll read them now. First, from Songs of Solomon, the 4th chapter. You have stolen my heart, my sister, my bride. You have stolen my heart with one glance of your eyes, with one jewel of your necklace. How delightful is your love, my sister, my bride. How much more pleasing is your love than wine, and the fragrance of your perfume more than any spice. And from Ecclesiastes, the 4th chapter, 2 are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. Also, if 2 lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? Though one may be overpowered, 2 can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. And from 1 Corinthians 13, if I speak in the tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I have nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be still. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part and we prophesy in part. When completeness comes, what is in part disappears. And now these three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. And then from Matthew 19, haven't you read, he replied, that at the beginning the Creator made them female and male, and said, for this reason a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore what God has joined together, let no one separate. And then finally, a section from C.S. Lewis's book, Mere Christianity. The idea that being in love is the only reason for remaining married really leaves no room for marriage as a contract or promise at all. If love is the whole thing, then the promise can add nothing. And if it adds nothing, then it should not be made. The curious thing is that lovers themselves, while they really remain in love, know this better than those who talk about love. As Chesterton pointed out, those who are in love have a natural inclination to bind themselves by promises. Love songs all over the world are full of vows, eternal constancy. The Christian law is not forcing upon the passion of love something which is foreign to that passion's own nature. It is demanding that lovers should take seriously something which their passion of itself impels them to do. And of course, the promise made when I'm in love, and because I'm in love, to be true to the beloved as long as I live, commits me to being true even if I cease to be in love. A promise must be about things that I can do, about actions. No one can promise to go on feeling in a certain way. He might as well promise never to have a headache or always to feel hungry. What we call being in love is a glorious state, and in several ways good for us. It helps us make us generous and courageous. It opens our eyes not only to the beauty of the beloved, but to all beauty. And it subordinates, especially at first, our merely animal sexuality. In that sense, love is the great conqueror of lust. No one in his senses would deny that being in love is better than either common sensuality or cold self-centeredness. Being in love is a good thing, but it's not the best thing. There are many things below it, but there are also things above it. You cannot make it the basis of a whole life. It is a noble feeling, but it's still a feeling. Now no feeling can be relied on to last in its full intensity, or even to last at all. Knowledge can last, principles can last, habits can last, but feelings come and go. And in fact, whatever people say, the state called being in love usually does not last. But of course, ceasing to be in love need not mean ceasing to love. Love is the second sense. Love is distinct from being in love. It's not merely a feeling. It's a deep unity, maintained by the will and deliberately strengthened by habit, reinforced by the grace which both partners ask and receive from God. They can have this love for each other even at those moments when they do not like each other, as you love yourself even when you do not like yourself. They can retain this love even when each would easily, if they allow themselves, be in love with someone else. Being in love first moved them to promise fidelity. This quieter love enables them to keep the promise. It is on this love that the engine of marriage is run. Being in love was the explosion that started it. Neesha has given me her version of how they met. James agreed with it. Good choice, James. Okay, according to Mandisha, James and Mandisha both attended Christopher Newport University, but did not meet until their senior year of college in their adolescent literature class. James sat in the front row and was always late to every class, which is how Mandisha noticed him. They began to talk after class, and he invited her out to a party on St. Patrick's Day, but she said no, worried that he was just another frat boy. A couple weeks later, they went out to get drinks after class and became inseparable for the next 6.5 years. So here we stand today, 6.5 years later. Mandisha and James, it's really difficult to add to the readings we had this morning about the true nature of love. But I would add to think of love like the Bible talked about, a house built on sand, which would not last the storms. But a house built on solid rock will withstand all of the storms that come to it. Now, obviously, a marriage that's built on shaky ground is probably not going to last. It probably will end up one of the half that result in divorce. But we know that the love you profess for one another this morning will build upon true love. It'll be long and fulfilling. You're making a choice today, a life commitment to truly love one another, regardless of the inevitable ups and downs. The love I'm talking about was personified by Jesus, who sacrificed everything and to become a form of a man and came down to earth to die for us. He chose to give up his life for us. He taught us there's nothing more important than to lay down our lives for one another. In the same way, my prayer is that you, Mandisha and James, will lay down your lives for one another, giving of yourselves in the same way. So James, each day, choose to love Mandisha by putting her desires and feelings ahead of your own. And Mandisha, choose each day to put James's desires and feelings ahead of your own. The emotional feelings of each day will take care of themselves. Always keep the lines of communication open. A wise saying is, don't let the sun go down while you're still angry. Don't let your head hit the pillow before you have put to rest your arguments, conflicts, or bitterness. Learn to let go, to forgive. It's been said that a happy marriage is the union of two forgivers. Another saying I like is, when we come to love not by finding a perfect person, but by learning to see an imperfect person perfectly. Accept one another the way you are. And finally, James, don't ever stop dating Mandisha. And Mandisha, don't ever stop flirting with James. Remember, you're marrying your best friend. Always set aside time to connect, to really listen to one another, to take time and to have dates and fun. As many of the married couples here this morning will tell you, a good and happy marriage is not a myth or a fairy tale. More than anything in life, it'll take consistent work and commitment to make it happen. We have every reason to believe that this will be true for the two of you, and that is our prayer for you this day. Now, take a deep breath. It's time to make your vows to one another. Neesha, there is yours. And James, there is yours.
A phrase that has always stuck with me is, you either grow together or you grow apart. For the past 6.5 years, I've counted myself so lucky that we continue to grow together. James Edward, you are my other half. You remind me to be silly and just take life as it comes, to not worry about what I can't control. You bring me back down to earth when I'm lost and hurt. I'm amazed by the things you teach me, the endless knowledge that you have. I've never felt so safe and loved than when I'm with you. And I wouldn't be who I am today without your unwavering ability to believe in me, even when I don't believe in myself. I don't know what I did to deserve your love and patience, but I find myself taking a moment every day to be grateful for you. Thank you for always treating me with respect and kindness. With all the challenges we've been through this year, I've never felt so sure of having you by my side. I love you forever and always.
So, my condolences to my fiance and the crowd. This is gonna be a lot, but I can't not say this. Neesha, you have often asked me why exactly I love you, and oftentimes my off-the-cuff answer was a sort of stuttering response along the lines of, well, because you're wonderful, or to just laugh the question off. And in case I had any chance of doubt, you made it abundantly clear that that was not the right answer. I still don't think I have the perfect answer, but I know that I can say this, and that is that life with you feels like how my life was meant to be. And when I think of not being with you forever, it's almost like imagining this kind of imagine this kind of death. And I don't mean that in some overdramatic sense, but I think almost literally, and that ironically my life without you would no longer really be my own life. It would become wrong. It would become like just the shadow of a better life that I could have had. And every day for quite some time now, I've had no doubt about which life I would choose. And yes, I think it's fair for you to say, hey James, if you knew about this decision, maybe you could have made the decision to hop down on one knee, maybe do it a little bit sooner. But I'm reminded of when we first started dating in college, and we were so infatuated with each other, and yet I chose to wait a little while before I started dating you. And that was because I wanted to respect you, and I wanted to make a decision that I knew that I could firmly and completely put all of myself into without any hint of doubt, and that it would be a decision that I could stand by proudly, knowing that there was no chance that I could change my mind and hurt you. And so for almost a month, I waited day after day for some reason to come up as to why I didn't want to be with you, some reason as to why I didn't love you, or some reason as to be bored with you. And none came and lasted then. And 6 years, 5 months, and 12 days later, I can look you in the eyes and tell you that none has come or lasted since then either. I strongly feel that this world does not deserve you. Someone who is so fervently motivated to care for and think about others, but also someone who, if you push her enough, you will find that she has a fair degree of spine. You are also one of the few people that I've ever met who has that rare degree of conviction and willpower to enact the kind of substantial change in one's life that most people like to talk about, but either never actually accomplish or simply dismiss outright. As cliche as it sounds, you are my better half and certainly my smarter half. My true life, the best version of my life, needs you, and I think it has always needed you. I think a part of me felt that somehow when I met you, when I got to know you. I love the way you laugh when you can't control it. I love the way your eyes look when we gaze at each other. And I love how you get a little embarrassed sometimes if we hold that gaze for too long. I promise to stand by you and put you above every other person in my life. I will always do my best to listen to you and respect your feelings, as I think they make the world a better place. And I vow to always rub your shoulders when you're tired, no matter how exhausted I am, every night. Or maybe we can agree on nearly every night. Lastly, I think I gave up on poetry a while ago, but you humor me for a second. I think what I would say is, to think of you is to feel the grateful embrace of crystal cool water on parched lips. To be loved by you is to pass into the most ecstatic of dreams unbound. To lose you would be to submit to a pain no less than equal to losing all that I've ever known. And to share a life with you is to become known to that infinite joy which welcomes all who have found true love. A love by which any light would become all the more rapturous, and a love through which any darkness would seem none the less tranquil. I love you, Neesha Singh. I will always love you, and I thank God that I was able to meet someone like you.
Hey, James. Can you take it? Okay, if you two could join hands. And now, Mandisha, repeat after me. I, Mandisha,
I, Mandisha,
take you, James, to be my husband,
take you, James, to be my husband,
my partner in life,
my partner in life,
and my one true love.
my one true love.
I will cherish and love you
I will cherish and love you
more each day
more each day
than I did the day before.
than I did the day before.
I will trust and respect you,
I will trust and respect you,
laugh and cry with you,
laugh and cry with you,
and love you faithfully through good times and bad,
and love you faithfully through good times and bad,
regardless of the obstacles
regardless of the obstacles
we may face together.
we may face together.
I give you my hand,
I give you my hand,
my heart,
my heart,
and my love
and my love
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for as long as we both shall live.
for as long as we both shall live.
If say I do.
I do. Wait, me? I do.
Yes. James, repeat after me. I, James,
I, James,
take you, Mandisha,
take you, Mandisha,
to be my wife,
to be my wife,
my partner in life,
my partner in life,
and my one true love.
and my one true love.
I will cherish and love you more each day
I will cherish and love you more each day
than I did the day before.
than I did the day before.
I will trust and respect you,
I will trust and respect you,
laugh and cry with you,
laugh and cry with you,
and love you faithfully through good times and bad,
and love you faithfully through good times and bad,
regardless of the obstacles
regardless of the obstacles
we may face together.
we may face together.
I give you my hand,
I give you my hand,
my heart,
my heart,
and my love
and my love.
from this day forward for as long as we both shall live.
From
If
this,
so, I'm sorry.
from this day forward, as long as we both shall live.
If so, say I do.
I do.
Okay, now Angie and Josh, could we have the rings?
No, wrong one.
Okay, Mandisha placing James' ring on his finger.
Other one.
Smarter.
And Mandisha, repeat after me. James, I give you this ring
James, I give you this ring
as a sign of our love for
as a sign of our love for
and commitment to each other.
and commitment to each other.
I promise to support you,
I promise to support you,
care for you,
care for you,
and stand alongside you for all of our days.
and stand alongside you for all of our days.
Okay, James, you can place Mandisha's ring on her finger. And repeat after me. Mandisha,
Mandisha,
I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a sign of our love for and commitment to each other.
as a sign of our love for and commitment to each other.
I promise to support you,
I promise to support you,
care for you,
care for you,
and stand alongside you for all our days.
and stand alongside you for all of our days.
Mandisha and James, it's now my great honor and pleasure to pronounce you wife and husband. I present you Mandisha and James Bullock.
Great job.
Huh?
Great job.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
That was very well done.